Mary Felter talks with Mary Chaput about an important event coming up next month for people who help care for senior citizens and people with disabilities. Mary?
Thank you, Carla. Today my guest is Mary Chaput. She is the director of our National Family Caregiver Support Program, as well as our Respite Program. I asked her to be on the program today to talk about the 19th Annual Caregivers Conference, which is coming up at the Annapolis Senior Center on April the 9th. People are beginning to register now. Welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Why are we even having a Caregivers Conference?
Well, we have this conference to provide different levels of caregivers some information and services that might be helpful to them. For our family caregivers who are often feeling very overwhelmed and unsure of what their role is, we're there to give them information and practical tools that they can use on a daily basis. And for our professional caregivers, we hope to provide them with up-to-date information and maybe some new technology and tools that they can also use.
You're going to have registered nurses as well as social workers also?
They're all invited. We will have social workers, we'll have LPNs and RNs. We hope to have home care workers, whether they're working privately or with an agency. And we hope to see folks that are coming from assisted living facilities and nursing homes.
You're offering something for the social workers too, some credits, I understand?
That's correct. Our partnership with the Alzheimer's Association allows us to provide 3 social work credit hours for those who attend the training.
That'll be something extra for them. They'll be able to earn it. So, tell me what people can expect when they get to the conference. I understand it starts at 9 o'clock.
That's right. Starts at 9 o'clock. We'll have registration at 9, a continental breakfast. We'll also have some vendors and some nonprofits there that will be able to share their information. Then we'll start off with our keynote speaker, who is Dr. Ann Morrison. And Ann is a clinical nurse at Johns Hopkins Hospital who has been very involved in research on Alzheimer's. And she's going to talk to us about the different and changing roles of caregivers. And caregivers experience a lot of changes as the person progresses along in their disease, particularly dementias.
And then how does the day break down after you've had this keynote speech?
Well, in the morning we're going to have 2 separate breakout sessions, and each one will have a choice of 3 classes or 3 workshops that they can attend. We're going to have someone that's going to be talking to them about caregiver emotions, and that it's okay to feel whatever it is they're feeling, and that it's normal. We'll also have someone talking about sexuality and aging, and we're hoping that we get both family members and the professionals attending this, because this is an issue that people tend to shy away from. But especially with the baby boomers coming into this segment of population that's going to be needing care, we have to be aware of what the issues are. We have someone that's going to be talking about family issues, and their caregiver families don't always see eye to eye. So we actually have someone who's trained in mediation that's going to help them set boundaries and set goals within the family and how they're going to deal with these issues. We're very excited this year. We're doing a session just for men.
Yes, I saw that.
That's right. We've seen in our caregiver workshops and our support groups, we're getting more men coming, which we're very happy to see. But their issues can be a little bit different. So we're going to have a breakout session where just the men can get together and share their feelings and share their experiences. So we're really, really happy about that. Another topic that I think, Mary, you've talked to me about in the past is people's questions on heredity and what does heredity play in, what role does that play in dementia? So we're going to have a breakout session on that. And also in the morning we're going to have the first of our 2 sessions on the virtual dementia tour.
I thought that that was a really good idea. I enjoyed taking that the last time. I learned a great deal. And I had a friend who talked about Alzheimer's and her mother. And one of the pieces of information that was shared with her was, this is a good way to learn about her world. That's because she's not going to come back to your world.
That's exactly right. And it's really important for family members to understand a little bit. We're only asking you to give 5 to 8 minutes of your time living in a dementia-type world versus the 24/7 that they live in. They can't come to our world, so we have to be a little more understanding. And it also helps the family caregivers realize and not take things personally, not take the behaviors personally. For our professional caregivers, those that are working in facilities, we're hoping that it'll give them a little more empathy and understanding what the people that they're taking care of on a day-to-day basis are experiencing.
And what else is offered besides the dementia tour? You said it's the sexuality and aging and the session for men. And, oh, I also see you're doing Veterans Administration benefits.
That's right. We're going to have someone from the Veterans Administration there who's going to be talking about what the eligibility requirements are and what the process is.
I think that's a very good idea because a lot of people are confused about that, and
That's
we have a
right.
lot more veterans now in our society. We need to be prepared for
That's
that.
right.
And there's still some from World War II that are looking for assistance, Korean War, Vietnam War, so that's a good thing that we're doing it. That workshop's going to explain medical, surgical, and rehabilitative care programs that they can
correct.
qualify for. Yes, I'm glad you're talking about the heredity and dementia. One of the conferences I went to, there was a daughter who was very upset because she had cared for her mother and then for her father who had Alzheimer's. So she was concerned if she was going to get it. So it's a good...
It's a scary thought, especially when it runs in the family.
Right.
And now that we're seeing that the Alzheimer's and the dementias are starting at an earlier age, we're seeing folks in their 40s and 50s that are being diagnosed. It's even more frightening for family members.
Yes. Obviously, you've got a lot going on that's going to help the caregivers. How do people register for this conference?
Well, you know, we do. I just want to tell you, too, that we do have a couple more sessions in the afternoon.
Oh, okay.
So in the afternoon, as you talked about, we're going to have the Veterans Affair, but we're also going to have hospice come in. Hospice of the Chesapeake
right.
is going to present in the afternoon. And that's a real important one because hopefully they're going to dispel all the myths that are out there about hospice care. And so they're going to talk about hospice not as a place, but as a philosophy. So that's really exciting. And then to close the day, we have a young social worker who, her name is Melissa Honig, and Melissa works closely with the Greenhouse Project, which is a nationwide project that's re-looking the face of nursing homes and how we do long-term care. And so she's going to present some of those ideas in the afternoon, and hopefully it'll catch enough fire within us that that's what we're going to advocate for us locally.
I'd be interested in learning a little bit more about that. Thank you. And so if I was going to go to that conference, now that I want to learn something, how do you register for it?
There's 3 ways you can register. Many people, over 2,000 folks, got a brochure in the mail. So if you have the brochure, you can fill it out and send it back in to us. You can call us at 410-222-4464, extension 3043, and register that way. Or you can go online, www.aacounty.org/aging, and just go ahead and register right online with us.
And the cost is?
The cost is $10 for family members and for professionals. Now, if you're a social worker looking for CEUs, it's an additional $10.
And for that, you get the continental breakfast, you get the lunch.
That's correct.
You get the workshops, you get materials.
Exactly.
So there's a lot that you're
It's
going to
a
get for your
bargain.
money. It is
It's
a
a
bargain.
bargain.
It really is. Mary, thank you so much for coming on the
You're quite
program, letting
welcome.
people know about the 19th Annual Caregivers Conference. The conference is going to be held on April the 9th. It runs from 9 to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's going to be at the Annapolis Senior Activity Center, which is at 119 South Villa Avenue, right off of West Street in Annapolis. Thanks very much, Mary. Appreciate your being on the program. Back to you, Carla.
Thanks, Mary. That sounds like a great way for caregivers to get a little bit of the load off their plate. They do so much, and it's good to see that there are resources available to them.